Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming, and you have decided for whatever reason to tune into another horrible gaming podcast. Uh, Guys and gals out there, I'm doing something a little bit different today. Neil is off, so instead of trying to do the show alone or get a co-host, I've done this a couple of times before. Decided to do it again. You guys seem to really enjoy it when I interview members of our community and just find out some more about their gaming habits, who they are as gamers, who they are in real life. So that's what I did today. I interviewed Rain Dance Danny, Seatown, and Jason. They are all fun people. They are all streamers on Twitch, more or less. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys stick with us and just learn a little bit more about our community members.
Time to get your fix. It's a horrible gaming podcast. It's not good, it's not great. Horrible gaming podcast. It's not even what you would call fair. It's really not that good. Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Okay, just a couple of quick credits before we get into this. As usual, if you're watching this on YouTube, behind the fancy timestamps, you're seeing fancy graphics. Any custom ones were done by Mr. Mark Bell. We thank him for that. And of course, the theme song for this show and all of the shows here at OMG are Neil just laughed somewhere. Are done by the man who makes the music, my brother Nick Van Sliders. We thank him for that. All right, let's get in with the interviews. All right. So as I've already said, I have no idea where I'm going to cut these, or whether this is before or after the other two interviews. But we're back with another interview. You guys already know who I am, and you probably know who this fine lady is. Because if you don't, I urge you to rush to Twitch. I mean, don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Just go immediately on Twitch. If you don't have an account, make one. Look up Rain Dance Danny and click the follow button because she is a great Twitch streamer, but she's also a big fan of OMG, and that's why we have to have you on. Danny, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's just a small taste of how I'm going to attempt to help your brand through this interview.
Oh my god. You push it more than I do. I love it.
I do. Um, I think you're a great streamer. I think you should stream more. That's all I'm saying. I'm
I'm
done.
like, you can follow me if you want, guys. And you're like, if you don't follow Danny, I'll break down your door and
I'll come for
roundhouse
you.
kick you.
Like I'm standing behind you while you're nice, and I'm just like, do it. All right. Well, we're just gonna do a casual interview where I talk to you about your experiences with gaming, your life, and how it's equated with gaming and stuff like that. So I like to start this. This is my first question. This is my opening salvo for all my interviews, and that is, what is your first gaming experience you can remember? Tell us a little bit about it.
This is gonna be so stupid. No one is allowed to laugh at this.
I wanna
So
let me just give a disclaimer before Danny continues. To Danny, I don't know if you've been watching the shows or the channel. Everything we do is stupid, so you're good.
Zach, this is gonna take it to a new level of cringe.
Oh,
but
I'm
I don't
excited
care.
now. I'm excited.
So, I never had my own console growing up. I wasn't super interested in video games like at all. It's only like a
Okay.
recent thing that I started playing them. But my brother was really into PlayStation. So he had PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, blah blah. And then I remember he had a PlayStation 2 and back when Blockbuster was a thing, I went to Blockbuster and I wanted to rent a video game to play. But obviously because I was like a child, my parents didn't let me get anything too crazy.
Hmm.
So I got the Pop Idol game, and I don't know if Pop Idol was just a British thing, but it's like American Idol, just English.
Okay.
And has like Simon Cowell and everyone still. And you just basically played trying to become a pop idol, and you had to press buttons at the right time for them to sing nicely and all this stuff.
Oh, it wasn't
And I
even
used
like a karaoke thing. It was like a rhythm game.
no, yeah, you just had to press buttons at the right
Okay.
time. otherwise they'd sing off key and you wouldn't get through to the next round. And I played the shit out of that game. Literally, like I took over my brother's console. He was so mad. So yeah, that's the first thing I remember.
That's a good one. That is a good one. That is a good one. Pop Idol. That's great. That's great. Who is your most favorite person to play games with? And no judgment if it's not me. Totally fine. I've had other people like look at me like, you want me to say you, right? You do not have to say me. It would be no
I am.
offense. But who's your most favorite person to get on and play games with? And I know you're a multiplayer person, so
This is gonna sound like I'm actually sucking your asshole, but it is you.
what? No way. No one's
It
actually
is.
said
Yeah.
me before, I don't think.
Oh.
Which it's okay.
Sorry,
It's
funny.
okay. I can't. I'm surprised I'm anybody's favorite because I'm so bad at whatever I'm doing that
Yeah, but
like,
so am I. So then you don't make me feel bad because we're
aw,
equally as bad.
okay, all right. I feel the warm fuzzies inside that you've said it's me. That makes me very happy. Well,
So we're
that's
just like
great.
absolute trash together. It's fab.
Well, now it's going to sound like I'm trying to boost my own status here, but this is the follow-up question I'd ask to anybody. What's your favorite experience with me playing games? Then, what's the one time that you're like that was the best? That was the absolute best.
Probably was the World War Z that we recently did.
Yeah, that was fun. That
And
was really
probably
fun.
just you laughing at the fact that I just leave everyone behind as if you hadn't already or maybe it was that time we were playing State of Decay and like I think it was one of the first streams that we actually played together and we were
Mm-hmm.
playing with Jason and we killed a play car and then I heard a feral and I just went feral and then just jumped out the window and jumped onto the car and you were like, oh my god, that was glorious.
You had never actually told me that strategy before. You had been in the stream before. This was the first time we had even talked to each other. Was on stream. Anybody who watches the lunch stream, the first time Danny's in a lunch stream, that is the first time me and Danny talked in person ever. She had never told me her feral strategy of the car. So we're just in this room, destroy the plague heart. We hear the feral. She screams feral and just runs out of the house as fast as she can to get to the car to get on top of it. But for me, the first thing I see is you just scream it and run. I'm like, this is my game. Where are you going?
Oh wait, I'm literally leaving you all as bait. I do not give a shit.
It was an omen for future games. The
It really
Danny,
was.
I will survive. Nobody else will. I don't care.
So
That
I don't know if you ever watched The Walking Dead, but when Shane shoots Otis in the leg to save himself, that is literally me.
I don't watch The Walking Dead, but I can understand that sentence enough to know. All right, all right. Well, that's that's already fun. Um, okay, so let's get a little bit more hypothetical. Let's have a little bit more fun with that. If there is a game developer out there and they are making your perfect game right now, what does that game look like? What does it entail? What's it about? Like, as much detail or as little you can give, it's whatever. But what's your perfect game?
So I really love anything to do with zombies. Like I know that's a big shock. Um, but also like I would say that my favorite game that I've ever played, it isn't State of Decay and it isn't GTA. It's actually Detroit Become Human.
Really?
Which yeah, and like I actually can't think of anything I would change about that game. I think it's amazing. That is my actual perfect game. I love like choose your own story, like your choices have consequences type
Like a
games.
Telltale game almost.
Yeah, oh, I love the Telltale game.
Telltale
Yeah.
games are great. They're absolutely the
Yes,
best.
they're like the game type of game I like and also have zombies, so it's great. Well, some of them do.
Some of them do. I really like the Borderlands one. I thought the Borderlands one was absolutely one of the best ones I've ever played in my life.
I
Because
think that's the only one I didn't play.
really, it was so
Mhm.
great because it made that world when you play that game as a video game, it's always so dehumanized. You know, it's just shooty shooty bang bang, lights and colors. But the Telltale game kind of made it like an actual world where people would exist in. You know, gave it that kind of
Yeah.
down to earth feel, and it was just nice. It was really nice with all the crazy humor still in it. But um, Well, that's cool. Detroit would not be the one I picked. It definitely wouldn't be. If I had to guess what your perfect game was, it wouldn't be that one. But that's awesome. All right, so let's go a little bit more towards you, and let's talk a little bit about your Twitch, because you have recently, mostly recently, started streaming on Twitch, correct?
Yes.
Again, 2 follows away from 50. Everybody needs to go out and follow her. Okay, continuing. Uh, but you stream on Twitch, and you have actually said to me you prefer Twitch on a whole. What is it about Twitch that makes you pick it over YouTube necessarily?
I just think it's easier for me to find the stuff that I want to watch on Twitch, whereas like on YouTube, on YouTube they recommend you things that you've already seen, or
Yeah,
not already seen, but like it's similar to stuff that you've already seen.
yeah.
Whereas Twitch doesn't really like it does have recommended channels. I don't really pay attention to that, but like it has like recommended categories. So like if
Mm-hmm.
I like State of Decay, it'll be like, oh, you might like this or whatever. And yeah, and then a lot of the people that I follow have been in the chat rooms of other people that I follow, and then I find their channel, and they obviously play similar games. I just think it's easier for me to find stuff that I actually want to watch.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, it is nice. I don't think Twitch's recommended channels are very good, but I do like the idea of picking a game, and then all you have to do is click on that game next time, like favoriting a game. Then all you have to do is
Yeah.
click on that game next time. I will say, Twitch, if you could cut it out on the girl licking microphones and scantily clad outfits, that'd be great. I'm
How
not
come
interested in that.
I don't get recommended stuff like that?
You
What have you
don't
been
get recommended
watching?
that? I haven't been watching anything. I've only been watching
Mm,
like Wildermyth on it, and this
hmm
girl is
hmm
literally in my recommended every time I go into Twitch. It's the same one. I'm like,
Maybe Twitch knows you're a guy and he thinks that they think that you'll like that type of stuff because you're a guy.
hey, look,
Profiling you.
I'm a
Outrageous.
guy. I like stuff. I don't need that. That's not. If I'm on
I don't think
Twitch,
anyone
I'm
needs
on.
that.
Yeah, I know. Well, somebody does because she's very popular, and it's very strange.
Someone said in my chat, like in one of the first streams I did, they were like, "Oh," because I mentioned that I'd exercise that day, and
Right.
they were like, "Oh, you should stream you exercising." And I was like, "My dude, nobody needs to see that," and they were like really thirsty about it, and it was actually kind of uncomfortable.
But there's weird ones though. There's ones where like it's literally just a girl and she's sleeping. That's it. She's just sleeping. Not nude, not naked, just normal pajamas. She's sleeping. She turns on her stream and people watch her sleep. That's insane to me. That's like
How could you go to sleep with people watching you?
how? How could you? How could you like what I want to meet somebody who's like a sub to that and just be like, what do you find entertaining about this? What is this to
These are like
you?
extremely lonely people that just want some company,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
even if she's asleep.
even if she's asleep. Okay. So I want to get a little bit more serious now. I want you to think to a positive experience with gaming, some point where gaming has influenced your life in a positive way. It could be reconnecting with a friend, spending time with somebody that you don't normally spend time with. The game itself helped you through a difficult period in your life. You could be as serious and into it as you want, but just a positive experience for gaming and what that was like for you.
Is it okay if I say two? They're not very long.
Oh, again, you can be as loquacious as you want. It's totally fine. Chat as long as you want, Danny. Seriously.
Okay, so
20 is not
one
the
of
time we gotta cut off. It's the time we have to at least hit.
okay. So one of them is that since I actually so I installed Twitch because I started watching Brian Menard on YouTube, and then I
Okay.
started talking to his wife, and she streams on Twitch. So then I installed Twitch so I could follow her on Twitch, and then just from this, I've met so many people that I really that are friends, even though we've never met in real life. And the same with YouTube. Like obviously, I've met you and like Jason through YouTube, and I consider you friends, even though we've never actually met.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's like a good thing for me, because it's I don't actually like spending time with people in person. So like it's just perfect having an online friendship. And then I would say the other one would be since I got my PC, I don't. I used to have to share the Xbox with my boyfriend, so it basically just was his Xbox, and I was allowed on it when he wasn't bothered.
Hmm.
Since I got my PC, now we can both play games at the same time, and a lot of the time we'll play games together. And it sounds really stupid because he's literally downstairs, so we could be spending time together in person, but we actually spend more time together now that I have a PC because we're on the game talking to each other, if that makes sense. And it's
Oh, it does.
yeah, it's nice. It feels like we spend more time together even though we're in separate rooms.
Right, right. And that is nice. I mean, that's one thing that's irritating about games nowadays is they don't really have that couch co-op experience anymore for
I
the most
know.
part, you know.
It's always online
Excuse me.
co-op, and it's like, no, I want local co-op. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, yeah, why don't you do the local co-op? Actually, it's a big sticking point for Neil. Is one of the reasons he doesn't like Back for Blood is there's no local co-op. He,
Yeah, I have a few friends that have said the same thing, that they just won't play it because it doesn't have that, and that's what they wanted.
right, right. Like that's what they
Um,
wanted to experience again.
so you know how earlier we were talking about my first experience with gaming.
Yeah.
So that was I never used to be super into games, but what got me actually into playing games was my boyfriend got the Xbox Games Pass, and Resident Evil 2, I
Okay.
think,
Okay.
was on it. But it was like Resident Evil Retribution or some crap like that. I don't know. It was a special type, and it
Okay.
was free, and it was local co-op. So we started playing it together, and I was like, oh, do you know what? This is actually kind of fun. So then we
Yeah.
played like all of the Resident Evil games together, and then I discovered GTA, and it all went downhill from there.
The GTA. Well, that that can segue into my next question for you. What is your all-time favorite game that you've ever played?
I would say it's Detroit Become Human, even though it's not the game that
Really?
I've played the most, but that's only because I don't have it on Steam, and I don't have a PlayStation. So I played it around my friend Tom's house, but I've played maybe like 12, 14 hours of it. And if I had like 60 quid to drop, or however much it is, I would actually buy it on Steam.
Mm.
But I'd say the game that is my favorite in terms of the one that I just play constantly would probably actually be State of Decay.
Oh, okay. I knew that GTA 5 and State of Decay were close. They were in the
Yeah, they are
running.
really close. State of Decay wins over just because I can play it on my own, and it's more fun to play on your own than GTA is to play on your own.
Yeah. 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 That's been a big thing, a detractor for me getting either GTA 5 or Red Dead Online was that lack of like, okay, this is fun, but if I'm not playing with anybody, this isn't as fun. Like I get bored of it too fast, you know.
I actually played GTA on my own. Like I probably played like 300 hours of it on my own, but then
Wow.
because I've played it so much, now I'm just like, I only play it when I play with my friends.
I mean, 300 hours is a lot to put in a game. I know there's a lot of crazy diehards out there that are like, oh, that's nothing, but like that's a
Yeah,
lot. It's a lot of
they'll be
time to
like, that's
spend on a
noob
game.
hours.
Oh, I hate it when people say that. It's noob numbers. Like, I think I said at one point in
I
one of
have a
my
life.
videos. Yeah, exactly. I think I said at one of my videos that I had played over 1,000 hours in Monster Hunter World, which I have. This is probably my all-time favorite game. But and then somebody was like, 1,000 hours, noob numbers. Noob numbers? 1,000 hours? Are you kidding? It's like,
So it's because I have a wife and a child. Go away.
yeah, Jesus, man. Well, shit. Even if I didn't have a wife and a child, just do you not have a job? What are you doing with your time?
I
But
don't get people who can sit down and play games for like eight,
mm-mm.
9 hours. You see them on Twitch, they've been streaming for like 12 hours,
Oh,
and I'm
I
like,
know.
dude, I can't.
There's one
I have to
guy
get off the news.
yeah, I started following some people on Twitter because I'm trying to get more into the Twitch, obviously. So I'm trying, and whenever I start to get into something, I try and actually get into it from both sides, both the viewer and the streamer. So I've been trying to watch people. There's one guy I started following named like I think he's like Triple XD or Triple XL or something like that. And a really nice guy, really chill dude, but he streams for like 8 hours at a time. I'm like, holy, like, when do you go to the bathroom? What's
I'm
happening?
literally like awake for 8 hours a day. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
right, right. Okay, so now you got to permit me to get just a little bit. egotistical and self-serving, if you don't mind. But
Okay.
I have to ask you, what's your all-time favorite old man gaming show or content? It could be a stream, it could be a show, it could be a let's play, it could be the podcast, it could be reviews, whatever. What's your all-time favorite content that we produce?
I actually really like your right. I'm saying this, it is my favorite, and I don't even know the exact name. The show that you
It's
play with
okay.
your with Melissa. So
Prelude to Divorce.
yeah, I was gonna say it's something to divorce. I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
I just like the banter. It makes me laugh.
Thank you. I really love the banter in that show. That's one of my favorite things about that show is just the banter. Even when the game isn't that good, it's always just us bickering that makes it good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad because I don't think anybody's ever said Prelude to Divorce. I think you're the first to ever say that, and that actually surprised me. I was expecting you to say it was going to be a stream.
Well, I do like the lunch stream, obviously. I never miss
Yeah,
it, but
yeah. Obviously, obviously.
I actively like seek out your Prelude for Divorce videos to watch.
Oh, that's wonderful. We have a lot. We're actually getting close
Yeah.
to 100. I don't know how I've made her do this for 100 of these. Like you could tell every time she's like, "Oh God, we got to do this again." I don't know
Because she
how.
loves you.
She does. She does. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. 10 years. 10 years going strong. There was another question I want to ask you, and now I don't remember where it is. That's irritating. So, what's a game that you're most excited for coming out?
Uh,
What's the
I
thing
mean,
that's really like, yes, I want to play that?
I don't follow gaming news, so I really don't know. I'd be like really fucking happy if GTA 6 would hurry up and come out instead of like squeezing the life out of GTA 5, but
Oh,
I don't
that
expect
thing.
that to happen anytime soon, so
No.
it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think we're gonna see GTA 6 anytime soon,
I
unfortunately.
also don't think we'll see State of Decay 3 soon, so I wish people would stop asking streamers about it.
Well, not to defend people, because they shouldn't be asking about it, but why did they ever put that announce trailer out if they weren't even working on it yet? You know?
Apparently, it wasn't anything to do with the devs. It was like actually Microsoft that
Yeah,
pushed that to come out, and the devs were like, "Well, we're not even." And yeah,
yeah. I think that's a big problem. You know, I've talked about it on the podcast a lot with Neil. Actually, I hate announce trailers. I want announce trailers to not
they
exist anymore. Like unless there's gameplay or a release window or date in the trailer, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. Just keep it
Yeah,
to
literally,
yourself.
what is the point of theatrical trailers? Because like
Hmm.
that's not the gameplay. And it's always so much better than the actual gameplay will be as well.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's just you're just setting us up for disappointment. Just stop. We don't need
Exactly.
it.
It's a weird Ponzi scheme that they got going. They're trying to get money out of things that they don't even have yet. You know, it's crazy. It's absolutely totally insane.
Capitalism, yay!
What? Say that again.
Capitalism,
Oh
yay!
yeah, capitalism's great. We love it over here.
Hmm.
It's just the best. How? This is the absolute best. All right, Danny. Well, this has been wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to ask you now, is there anything specific you want to plug?
No, Zach, 'cause I'm not you. I want you to be good people. That's all I'm plugging.
All right. Well, while Danny selflessly gives up her plug time to ask everybody out there to be good people, that includes you, Kev. Uh,
Oh my God.
I know he's going to be pissed about that. But I am going to go ahead and, since I'm American, just be a dirty capitalist and be like, go to Danny's Twitch. Follow her Twitch. Sign up for Twitch and follow her. She's a great streamer. Danny, I always enjoy your streams, and I also stream with Danny regularly. So go check us out on Twitch. I assure you, you will be entertained. We're not good at games, but you will be entertained.
That's very true.
Danny, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much, even more so than that, for supporting the channel and, me, Phil Billy, Neil, doing this stuff. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for the entertainment. It fills my day.
Well, we try. We have enough content to fill somebody's day. I don't know how we produce so much, but it's all about quantity, not quality here. So Thank you, Danny. Everybody else, I either will be about to end the show or be back with another guest. I don't know which order I'm going to put these in. But this is a horrible gaming podcast, so you knew what you were getting into listening. Either way, we'll be right back.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Already saw the intro, but this is an interview show, as you all are aware, and picked 3 community members. And I'm telling you this because I have no idea which one of these is going to air first, but I picked 3 community members to basically be interviewed by me, just to get to know them a little bit more better, kind of talk about their experiences with gaming, why they're into games, stuff like that. But you guys will know this guy. This is his first time on the podcast proper. His first appearance, but you know him from Discord, and if you watch the streams at all, you definitely know him as the Professor. Jason, welcome to the show.
Howdy.
So Jason, just gonna ask you some questions. Right off the bat, this is the one that I like to ask to everybody. I've asked it to all the other interview shows I did. I like to ask this first. What's your first gaming experience ever? What was the first thing you can remember as far as gaming goes?
The Atari.
Ooh.
That's really all I can remember is the Atari.
What games on the? You don't remember what games on the
we
Atari?
we had Donkey Kong. We
Ooh.
had that ET game.
Oh no, the one that almost put gaming off the map.
Yep.
Did you log a lot of hours with the worst game ever made?
I honestly don't remember.
So you've been gaming basically your entire life then, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
What's a positive experience with gaming that you can remember? Some moment that like gaming had a really positive influence on you. It could be reconnecting with an old friend. It could be just helping you through a rough time. Maybe it was just meeting new people. Whatever. What's the most positive experience you can remember playing video games?
Probably when MMOs got real big.
Okay.
Because me and my best friend are both gamers. We got to play together more than just sitting on the couch.
That's nice.
could-
What MMO
we
was
could
it?
play. Well, we started with Ultima Online.
That's sweet, sweet Ultima. I've already made fun of the co-host of this show for not knowing what that was. That's an egregious crime, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was my first time with multiplayer games in general. Then the next big one was City of Heroes.
City of Heroes is a good one too. City of Heroes is a good one. Has your gaming experience predominantly been MMOs? Would you say?
Oh no. I mean, like I said, I've been playing since the Atari. So.
Since the beginning of time. Yeah.
There's the Atari, then the NES, the SNES, N64, the GameCube, then the PlayStation,
Let me
PlayStation 2.
let me jump off that for a sec. What's your all-time favorite system then? Like of all the systems you've played on, because you're like me, you've played them all. What's the one that you're like? That's the system that I can't. That's the best that I've ever played. The best experiences.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, probably the SNES and or the GameCube.
Mm. Mm. Those are good ones. Those are good ones. The GameCube surprises me a little bit. What was the GameCube game that knocked your socks off?
Eternal Darkness.
Oh wow. Wow. Shout out to Eternal Darkness fans. That game is that's a rare one for Nintendo too, because there just wasn't psychological thrillers like that on a Nintendo
Especially
system.
at that time.
Yes, but yeah, Nintendo was not known for stuff like that, and that was a groundbreaker. But it actually was a commercial failure and has gained like cult following since then. So nice shout out, nice shout out. All right, so let me ask you question a little bit more towards you, a little bit more towards your likings. Now, I my first encounter with the professor, you found our lunch stream where I play State of Decay 2 infinitely badly. And basically, you just started shouting out stuff in State of Decay 2, meaning you played that game, I think, more than anything. So I gotta ask, what is it about State of Decay 2 that has just pulled you in so deep?
Well, honestly, it's pretty much like the game I was looking for in a game. I like the little community thing you have going,
Mm-hmm.
and then going out and looting stuff.
Kind
It's
of the
a game
perfect
I was looking for
sandbox.
where you have yeah, you have like a little base, and then you like bring stuff in to keep that base and the people there going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it is.
Something I'd actually been pining for a while.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people don't realize there's not a whole lot of games like it out there. Like there's the procedurally generated stuff, but the community aspect and the switching characters combined with that is very different than anything you see out there. Is State of Decay 2 your favorite over State of Decay 1? Which one's the leader for you?
I really like State of Decay 2.
Yeah.
Um, One is different because it has pre-made people.
Right, right, right. But they do still have permadeath in that one, I believe.
Oh yes,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but like Jeffrey mentions a lot. If Marcus dies, you can start a new game and get a new Marcus,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
or Maya, or Ed.
I mean, honestly, that's what drew me to State of Decay 2 was the procedurally generated unique characters to you, you know. So, I usually ask this question towards the end of the interview, but I'm nervous that we've already answered that question. But if there's a developer out there right now and they're making a game just for Jason, just for the professor, what is that game? What does it look like? Is it just State of Decay 2 or what is it? What does it entail? What does it have?
Yeah, it'd be like State of Decay 2, but it'd be more on a psychological bent, like say Silent Hill.
Okay. All right. Or even have aspects of Darkest Dungeon in it from the mental stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I really like psychological stuff.
Like psychological games like Silent Hill or Eternal. I mean, you already
Yeah,
called out
like
Eternal Darkness. So,
Eternal Darkness. Yeah,
what's your favorite psychological based game?
would have to be Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2. All right. All right.
Yes, I like to tell people I think that is the most beautiful love story.
That's that's a good one. All right. So, let me see here. All right, I got to get a little bit selfish here, just a tad bit, and ask you, what's your favorite show that OMG offers you? What's your favorite thing to watch that we put out? Stream, show, podcast, whatever. What's your favorite thing that we put out and why?
Probably have to be the lunch stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that as props to me. I'm gonna lord that over the other foundation members. um, is it just because I play so badly, or is it because of the game itself?
It's because of the interaction.
Oh, okay. What is what? Who's your favorite person to play games with of all time? Favorite person?
I really don't have any idea.
With all the multiplayers you play, you don't have a favorite person to play with? No, no judgment.
my brain just doesn't work that way. I can tell
Okay.
you some people I really don't like playing with.
Okay. I mean, if you want to say that, you can. Would they listen to this show? Are they? Is it going to get you in trouble to say that?
Now, I haven't even interacted with this person for a
I see.
decade or more.
All right. So
But it was
what?
on City of
Go
it
ahead.
was on City of Heroes. There was this guy who would critique everything you did if you
Oof.
did not do it his way.
Oh.
It could be a totally valid way to do the mission, but if you didn't do it exactly the way he wanted to get it done, he would go after you.
Oh, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. What's the point of gaming that way? I don't understand.
I don't know, but
I
I
I
just
I've met a lot of guys like that who do that. I don't understand gaming. It's like, what are you getting out of this experience? What's your favorite qualities in somebody to play with? Do you like it when they follow your lead, or do you like to follow their lead?
I like to follow the lead of the person who knows what they're doing. So if that's them, that's fine. If it's me, that's fine.
So that's never going to be me. I can assure you that. When we're playing together, it's not going to be me. All right. So what's your all-time favorite game then? Or your brain doesn't work in the favorites. What? Name some other favorite games that you have other than State of Decay 2.
I like the first Resident Evil games.
Even with that standard cam, that always drove me nuts. I couldn't deal with it.
And that doesn't really bother me. But Silent Hill 2 is the same way.
Yeah, yeah, they are. They are. I'm not gonna lie. I tend to stay away from horror games. So psychological games have been an avoidance of mine. I tend to stay away from anything that's gonna be overtly scary. Just not something I like to get into. But so I'm not super familiar with Silent Hills. I'm just aware of them because of all the gaming research I do and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they're basically like Resident Evil, except instead of like Resident Evil is like science based,
Right.
Silent Hill is more supernatural based.
Right.
Because Silent Hill is basically like a purgatory.
Right.
Like in
Right.
Silent Hill 2, James goes there looking for his wife, and when you go throughout the game, spoilers for a game that's like 20 years old, you find out he mercy killed his wife who was very sick, and he was very guilty about this. That's what brought him into Silent Hill.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
so like everything he sees there in Silent Hill is based on that. The nurses are
So
dressed
it's that theme.
provocatively.
Yeah, the theme of the almost the mental distortion.
And
Um,
then
go ahead.
you have a Maria there who's basically a spiritual clone of his wife. It looks like his wife, but she's dressed more provocatively, and she's more assertive and more sensual.
More
So it's
like
just,
an
just like
idea of what.
basically it's like a dark reflection of his guilt.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That is interesting. That is very interesting. What's one of your hobbies that you do outside of gaming? Like, what's your favorite thing to do outside of gaming?
I like to grow plants.
Grow plants. What plants do you grow?
Uh, right now I'm growing mint, but usually I like to grow peppers, tomatoes.
I have tried to grow peppers and squash so many times. Every time I
How
fail, or they're so small.
how do you fail with peppers?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't know how I fail with peppers, but I seem to fail with peppers every time. You can mock me for it. I don't mind.
Tomatoes and peppers are so easy to grow.
I've grown tomatoes before. I can never seem to get them big enough that I'd like them to be, but I've grown tomatoes before. I've also tried to grow squash so many times, like zucchini and yellow squash. I think one time we were able to get a zucchini to a level that I could eat it, but other than that, I've never been able to manage to get them that high.
See, we used to have pigs,
Mm-hmm.
and my brother would have this certain kind of zucchini that they grow huge.
Okay.
So he would just pick those off and throw them into the pig pen.
Okay. That's I would never. I like to eat zucchini too much. I don't think I could feed them to the pigs.
These they get big and they're kind of tasteless because they're so big that
Oh,
the
okay.
flavors just throughout it. They also grew smaller zucchinis that my sister-in-law would bake into like bread and rolls and stuff.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. I like to cook zucchini in like stir fry dishes, that sort of thing. Like I know that's kind of different, but I always liked zucchini, like
Oh,
sautéed zucchini.
yeah, they like that, and she likes uh, zucchini spaghetti, which is just shredded zucchini that you eat instead of spaghetti.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. Gotcha.
I'm not really into that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I tried a while ago. I tried spaghetti squash as like a substitute for like spaghetti, like that. Because it's like a squash that you like cook it and then you can just peel it away, kind of, and it looks like spaghetti.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
care for it that much.
they eat that too.
Do they? Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
I'm
There's.
not. I'm just not big into squash.
Oh, that's fair. Well, what's your so peppers is your favorite vegetable to grow? Do you got anything else that you love to grow other than tomatoes and peppers?
I
Apologize to
like to
anybody
grow.
out here who was not expecting to turn into the gardening hour, but
I just I just like growing whatever.
yeah, that's
Like
awesome.
like this mint I'm growing. My brother planted it out there several years ago. I'm not sure if it was just like on a whim or whatever.
Okay.
The spearmint all died, but the chocolate mint grew, and I've just ever since been taking little sprigs off of that, and because if you take a sprig of that and put it in dirt, it will grow.
Oh, like it propagates on its own. That's awesome. I I'm much better with flowers than I am with vegetables, honestly. Um, so what? Get it back to gaming since we went off the rails a sec there, but back to gaming. Tell us some more of your favorite games. That works.
Well, shocking no one, one of them would be grounded.
Mmm. Filthy Phil and Phil Billy are very into Grounded too. Well, Phil Billy not as much anymore, but they both like that game a lot.
So that has another aspect I like to do is like building base.
Yeah,
Basically, all I do.
I
Yeah, I'm not really huge into fighting stuff. I just the stuff there, like the spiders and stuff are there. It's like a threat. But
mm-hmm.
I mostly just like harvesting, bringing it back, building a base.
Honestly, that's what I enjoyed the most out of that game too. I think it. I I was never arachnophobic before that game, and after that game, those like spiders, like they just I don't know that game spiders. Like I can only play that game for about an hour at a time, and then like I'm just like I feel like I got spiders all over me. I don't know.
See, that's something I think is funny because I've
Yeah,
been arachnophobic all my life,
really
and I do not like spiders.
okay.
The spiders in video games or in TV shows or in movies, they don't bother me like at all.
Really, really. So it's almost the opposite there.
Yeah, it's when I first saw that it had arachnophobia mode, I actually thought that was hilarious.
I
But some of those because it's like a sequential from a full spider to like basically just like this blob,
right, right.
and some of those things in between look more disturbing than the spider.
You beat me to it. Like I would much rather see the spider than that weird floating blob. Then I'm like, I don't even know how to fight that. Like I don't know that yeah, there's some about those. And I've gotten more jump scares out of that game than anything else. Like I'll just be and you'll just hear that like weird growl and turn around and it's just like all legs coming at you and I scream like a little girl. People have seen it on stream. Uh, Tell us another favorite game. We'll just chat about some games for a little bit.
Well, there's the Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Online.
Do you play Red Dead Online? I didn't know you actually played Red Dead Online.
I'm not right now,
Okay.
but I have. I actually like the game. It's just that I can only play it for so long before it gets old
Yeah. Yeah.
because
It,
I'm not playing with anyone.
yeah. And I think that was a problem I had with it when I first tried it. That and when I first tried it, it had just come out because I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 like day one, played through the story, and then when the online launched, I was like first in the gate, and I was like, oh, I this is not what I want
Yeah,
out of a
that was
game.
still quite buggy. It was still quite buggy when I started playing it. Like the part I really like the most, I like going out and hunting the animals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I first started playing, there was issues with animal spawning, whereas in some instances you could have no animals on the entire map.
Oh yeah.
And when you're wanting to hunt animals, that's an issue.
Yeah, yeah, especially when that's what you're playing for. My big problem with it, I was talking to Seatown, who will be another guest on this show. I don't like the way Rockstar does tiered weapons in their games. They always do it that way. So like, you've got a starting rifle, a starting pistol, a starting shotgun, and then as you level up, you get like they just add a better version of that gun instead of like making more of a variety of why you'd want to use this gun over that gun, you know. And I haven't really talked about this too much on the show, but I'm a gun owner. I own 3 weapons. I am a target shooter, so I'm familiar with how guns work. And I don't know. It always irks me the wrong way that I've got to go on to the next gun in order to be useful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just always irritates me. Like I hate that like I got to go from the carbine to this instead of being like, oh, there's a reason to use this gun in this situation. There's a reason to use this gun in this situation. I don't know. Rockstar's never been very good at that. That's always been my problem with it.
Yeah, I mostly use the bow to hunt and
Mm.
the repeater to fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Repeater's the way to go for fighting, in my opinion. Um,
Or the lasso.
the last That's the best. That's the best.
Well,
Even if you die,
I
it's
have
better to like lasso somebody just to get that like.
I have the bounty hunter thing, and
Mm-hmm.
that gives you upgrades to your lasso because
Oh, nice.
it's better to you get more money if you bring the opponent in alive.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's how it was in the actual single player game too.
Yeah, I played the single player to the point where Arthur gets in that group,
Right.
like when he first gets into that house,
Mm-hmm.
and I quit there and went online because
I mean, I
I
get
just
that.
had no interest in that.
The problem is that game's just very, very long. I kind of there was a point where I just forced myself to mainline it just so that I could get it done because I just don't have that kind of time to put into a story mode. The one thing I do like about the storyline in Red Dead over GTA is even when they're being the absolute worst in Red Dead, there's enough behind the character that you can be like, okay, I can identify with some of his choices. Whereas GTA is always like, let's just kill everybody, and we're just terrible people all the time. I don't know, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I really liked about San Andreas because CJ was not an evil person.
oh yeah, that's the one GTA I've never played.
Yeah, I haven't played four.
Oh, I played 4. I actually liked 4 because Nico was a little bit more like you could get behind some of his choices a little bit better.
Well, the thing I really like about CJ is because the entire game, his main motivation is to protect his family, his
Okay,
crew,
okay,
his
and it
people.
just keeps going. So
He
you're
he
definitely
keeps
gonna get
going. And he get what?
you're definitely gonna get they're remastering those two, aren't they? San Andreas and Vice.
I don't know. I don't know if I can go back to playing those after playing five.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. especially
That's the
with the
way
online.
I was with the GTA 3 series. I couldn't go back to 3 after Vice City. I could not go back to 3 or Vice City after San Andreas.
Mm, mm.
Because like one of my favorite things to do is helicopters, which was introduced in Vice City,
Right.
and so 3 didn't. I think 3 might have had the Hunter.
I think you
It
could
was
do. I
always
think
like
there was a mission with the helicopter, but it wasn't necessarily something you could very easily get to.
yeah, it was very hard to get, and then even in Vice City, that the hunter there was hard to get unless you did something to make it spawn.
Right.
And then I think they added bikes in Vice City, and I like bikes too.
Yeah, I love the bikes. In Vice City, I loved the bikes. The bikes were the best. They were my favorite thing to drive. And then every once in a while, you miss a turn and you just go flying through the air for like 10 minutes. Hysterical. Let me ask you a question. Let me take you back to something else since we're on the subject of gaming. And I think I might know the answer to this. What are you most excited for coming out? Is there anything that's got you like, oh, I can't wait for this to come out?
Yeah, right now, Back
Yeah,
for Blood.
that's yeah. I asked the question I knew the answer to, but that's part of the interview.
See, the funny thing is I'm not really a huge first-person game,
Mm-hmm.
but some of my favorite games I have played have been first-person.
Right.
Like, I actually really like Minecraft,
Okay.
especially modded Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the Metroid Prime series. That was first person.
Right.
Back for Blood is first person. I really like that one.
Yeah, I can't wait for Back for Blood to come out. I'm very excited to play it, especially with you and Danny. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. A ton of fun.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I didn't think I was gonna like it because it's first person. I'm not just first person shooters. Just are kind of like the lowest tier of gaming for me.
Out of curiosity, why? I mean, totally okay with that, but out of curiosity, why are they the lowest tier for you?
I just I just don't find them fun usually,
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair.
and they're usually not. See, I don't like mundane stuff much.
Mm-hmm.
So like Warzone, I actually don't really think that's all that interesting because it's just a bunch of generic soldiers running around killing each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's more like the competitive angles of it is what's interesting, and if you're not into that, then it's not really worth it. You know.
See, I'm the same thing with movies. I don't generally like normal, like a war movie. I would not like, but if it was a
Right.
war movie that like was say Alien Invasion or something, I might
Right.
like that,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
zombies thing.
I mean, in a lot of ways, that's almost the genre puts you off at that point.
But like Metroid Prime was Metroid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Back for Blood is
Minecraft is
zombies.
just Minecraft is just a survival game,
Well, and the
and
building aspect
probably
of that is a lot of fun. I even got into Minecraft for a little bit. Like, it's hard once you get into it to not at least get a little into it. It's just a very addictive game.
hence its name Mindcrack,
The mind crack.
which actually I believe someone named one of their mod packs Mindcrack. It's been so long since I've done that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, man, that's all we got for you. We're at 30 minutes. We got to kind of wrap it up. I do not know, for anybody listening, where this is going to be specifically located in the between the other two interviews, but I'm also interviewing Seatown and Rain Dance Danny on this show. Jason, is there anything you want to plug or anything you want to say to the people? You get the final word.
No, not really.
All right, that works too. I gotta give it to you. I gotta give you the same, the same I give everybody else. But Jason, I really do appreciate you taking your time out to do this interview, and being a loyal. I mean, you're not really you're a friend at this point, but a fan as well for the channel and the show for as long as you have. I appreciate it. So we will be back in a second with either Seatown or Rain and Danny. Again, I have no idea where we're going to play. This is a horrible gaming podcast, people. You need to be used to the fact that it's not going to be good. And one of the things that are not good is I don't know how I'm going to edit this together. So yeah, we'll be back with one of them in a second.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
Back with another guest. And yeah, I've already said repeatedly, or not at all, that I don't know what order I'm going to cut these together in. So this could be the first guest, could be the last guest. I don't know. But that guest is another one of our community members who's been with us for a very long time. He also has a Twitch stream of his own, and that is Seatown 1980. Seatown, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Going with that energy. Let's do this.
Yeah. I bring the energy. It's contagious. It's contagious. So
okay.
we're gonna interview you. We're just gonna talk about gaming a little bit, your experiences with gaming, just to get to know you a little bit more. And I like to open with one question with everybody. Everybody that I've interviewed so far is the same question, and that is, I want to know what your first memorable gaming experience was. What was the first gaming experience you had that you remember?
Definitely in the early console age. Actually, Mega Man 4.
Oh, good one. I like that.
That was the one that really cemented my love for that series. And also, I just remember because it was like I didn't own it. I had to keep renting it.
I love the rental days. Love the rental.
Yeah, for the youngins out there, we used to go to a store and they used to have videos, but some of them had sections with video games.
Were you allowed to rent during the week? Or
no.
Yeah, no, that's how it was for me. Like, my parents were like, you could rent one on Friday, and I would always get nervous that the same game from last week that I was halfway through would be rented out the next week. And that was always a travesty when that happened. Like, it's like, you've ruined my weekend!
I just remember just constantly renting. I think it was 6 months I just kept renting that one game every weekend.
Yeah.
Just to, until I beat it. But yeah, that was one of my first memorable ones. The other one going even back a little further, because like I got my Nintendo later, was getting the Atari 2600. That was like my first console.
How old were you when you got that?
Oh God, I can't even remember.
I think you're younger than me. I think, right? I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm a year older.
You're a year older than me? You're 41?
I will be on December.
Nice. Okay. All right. So
So
we are the same age for a
40.
small window of time.
By the way, to date this, is today your birthday, if I remember right?
Today, yes. I was not trying to drop that in, but yes, today is my birthday, as far as recording goes. You guys are going to hear this 2 weeks after that, but yes, yes, today, as of recording, is my birthday, yes.
Yes. So, day of recording for those in the future, we are now in the past by your standards. Yes,
we're a time travel show.
Club.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 40 Club. You thought 30 was rough. Enjoy the ride.
I gotta say, I did have a little bit of weird depression earlier in the week, but on the day of,
40.
yeah, now that I'm on the day of, I'm kind of handling it better than I handled 30. I don't know.
It's every 10 years you have your crisis. And you learn to handle it better every single time. And you'll find it gets weirder every time, but then you just come content.
Is this Crisis Week? Is this Crisis Week? Okay.
Anyway, back to gaming. Sorry.
Yeah. No. The digressions are what makes it fun, man. Seriously. All right, so that's your first gaming experience. I want to take it a little bit serious now, if you don't mind. And I want to, and you can answer this as seriously or as not as you want. I just ask the question a little bit more serious, and I want to know a time that gaming positively influenced you. Maybe it was reconnecting with an old friend. Maybe it was some people helping you get through a rough patch. Maybe it was a game helping you get through a rough patch. I don't know, some time where like gaming was a positive influence on your life.
Um, I can name two occasions. One
Okay.
ties into the Mega Man 4 thing
All right.
because that was when that's roughly around the time I moved into Cleveland Heights.
Mm.
My dad had lost the house after my mother's death.
Ooh.
It was kind of, yeah, huge changing, and gaming was kind of an anchor. Um, Another time I'm actually going to say is later on, right after college, was World of Warcraft, which is
Mm.
a weird one. Because it was like I was kind of in that weird, like, I flunked out of college. I was like still hadn't really like set myself in any direction, period. And it was just kind of that one anchor point I still had that was oddly controllable.
Right. Right.
And where when everything else was kind of out there.
That is a nice
Yes, I know.
thing
I
about.
brought it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. I brought. And I know if some of the viewers go, "Oh God, World of Warcraft." Yeah, I brought it up. You can argue the issues that are having
Hey.
with the living dumpster fire that is Activision Blizzard, but
I mean, it's part of
for
the
what it
classics.
was in the past. Yeah, it's for what it was at the time. Yeah, I could go into my view of modern WoW, but we're not here for that.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things. Michael Jackson wasn't necessarily the best person, but he made some good music. So
Yeah,
the source does not exactly influence the product. But I will say it
yeah.
is nice. Go ahead.
The good memories I have from it are those can't be taken away. That's how I put it. Like
Right,
that
right.
was the time. That's what we had.
Nor should
What
they be.
happens now? Right. It's just what it is at this point. So
I think gaming has a really powerful effect of you mentioned an anchor. You're the first person to bring that up. That's done that for me personally a couple of times in my life too. I think gaming. It's weird that gaming can be so fantastical, but at the same time, it can have this real anchoring effect on your life. Kind of like
oh yeah.
the thing that like gets you through the storm almost, which is really nice. And thank you for
Well,
sharing
I found
those.
that. Yeah. Oh no. And with the anchoring point, it's not just even like video games. Like I'm a complete nerd in the tabletop end of
Yeah.
it. I've also found does the
Yes.
same thing. So it's just gaming in general when you look at it,
I was going to
whether
talk
it be
about the
video or
tabletop stuff. Well, let's segue. Let's segue since you brought it up. I was going to talk about that because usually I ask a lot of baseline questions, but I always have like one or two
yeah.
questions directed directly at the person. And
Okay.
one of them is I know you are a super tabletop board game guy. As far as
Yeah.
that goes, you probably have more games than you could ever possibly actually get together with people and play. Um,
Oh
so
God. Yeah.
so I gotta ask the question. We'll take it that way for a second. What's your favorite
Okay.
tabletop board game? What's the one that's like that's the one I want to play anytime, anywhere?
Oh, God, I got a couple. That's no for me. That's a loaded question because part of the reason my library is so diverse and weird is because one, I run games and I've learned a long time ago just even learn other things because it helps even other games because it
Right.
can help with other games. But D&D, definitely the new fifth edition. I definitely, if someone's like, "Let's go," I'd be like, "When? Where? I have dice, run, let's go."
D and D.
D&D fifth, yeah. One very well.
Mm-hmm.
Begins with an M and has a Z in there. Mecton Zeta.
Ha ha!
I
Mecton Zeta. That takes me back.
oh the edit. Oh man, that one. Oh, someone says Mecton Zeta. It's like the Kool-Aid Man bursting through the door.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I agree. I still got like the oldest book that I used to have. All the pages are yellow. It's held together by duct tape. I'm literally looking at it now. I might post a picture of it if I
so
remember when I post this
so
this
when I was
podcast.
running organized when I was running the organized play up at our local tabletop store
Yeah.
here, one of the other GMs was at a yard sale, and he picked up a bunch of books and goes, "Oh, you like these?" He handed me another copy
Oh.
of Mecton Zeta,
Oh.
the Mecton Zeta core book, and Mecton 2.
Oh, wow.
The prequel. I have an original copy of Mecton 2 on my shelf right now.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
And
It's like a
yeah,
treasure trove, and people like think that
I
those books don't matter. My brother found a bunch of games because he
well,
doesn't role play, but
he knows it matters because he was also a
oh,
tabletop
okay,
player,
gotcha.
and he already had a copy.
Oh, okay, all right,
So
that's
he's just
different.
like, "Here's another one I picked up." I'm like,
Yes, I will take
"Oh,
this. My
because I'm also a fan of just reading the previous editions because you
mhm,
see where the evolution is taken. Like I
yeah,
own the PHB for second edition AD&D, a good chunk of third edition, bunch of Pathfinder because that's really 3.5,
mhm,
the intermediate one, though 3.75 because they did modifications to it.
right.
Then I have, and you can tell by the tone of my voice, fourth edition. It was a thing.
Well, we can't spend
And
all the time on tabletop
no,
role playing
anyway,
games.
yeah, yeah,
I
sorry,
do want to
sorry.
say I understand you. My brother had moved and recently found a bunch of old books that we apparently had when we were kids and gave them to me. I still haven't played any of them, but I was just so excited. I've got the Palladium Robotech, Palladium Riffs. I've got the Heavy Gear now, all the Heavy Gear books that he had, and I have the White Wolf Street Fighter game. If you can try and picture that RPG in your head.
Duh.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and,
It
and
had
so,
cards. It was insane.
yeah. Jeez, I think I remember hearing about that. But the last one is one of the more recent additions in the environment is the new Star Trek Adventures. The
Ah,
the
yeah.
yeah, that's the because it combines another passion of mine, Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Just put that nerd hat on me. Just
Yeah, I'm a Trekkie.
seriously.
I'm a Trekkie all the way. You're in good company. You're in good company.
I know.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So we got to move on. Let's
Yep.
do. Let's take it a little bit selfish for a sec. Just a little bit selfish. I always
Okay.
do this. I
Okay.
get a little bit selfish, a little bit self-serving to the channel on one of these questions. I want to know what's your favorite. I never miss this. OMG show, stream, whatever. What is it from our channel that like you're like that one? I gotta watch it. That's my favorite.
Podcast.
Podcast,
Podcast.
really?
Hands down. Podcast.
Really?
Hands down.
Really? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I was not expecting you to say that, honestly. But thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
because and I've made the comment a few times in fan interaction is it's watching you go from like, okay, here's the thing, to old man yells at gaming industry.
Yeah, it really has become that. It's like, what's
It's
Zach
just,
gonna freak out on this week?
and I don't blame you. There's like so much shit coming out right now with the
Yeah.
industry, like very little positive that it's like, ah,
And you gotta dig
so
so far to get to the positive is the problem. Like
yeah,
I'm
oh
40
yeah.
now. I don't want to dig through poop to get to my positives anymore. I just want to have the
We
positive.
literally, it was my one uncle who once said this when I hit 30. He said, "You're finally hitting the point where you're literally getting too old for this shit.
You're murtawing it.
You
You're
just
finally
don't,
murtawing
yeah,
it.
you just don't have time. Just get to the point. If I'm looking for something, I know what I'm looking for.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and if I
Right.
have to get through that much shit, do it. Not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Don't have
don't give
enough
it to
time.
me.
Don't,
Just
don't,
don't give it to
don't,
me.
don't have enough. Don't have enough time left on this planet.
Right.
Got-
Either give me
going.
the cake or just keep the cake. I don't want to have to work for the cake. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I agree. Okay. So now let's get hypothetical. Let's get hypothetical.
Okay.
There is a developer out there somewhere, and they are making the perfect Seatown 1980 game. What's that game look like? And you can answer as in detail or not, as humanly possible. I do say that we only have so much time in the podcast. So I know that you could
No,
probably
no,
talk
no,
for an
no. I get
hour
it.
with this
That's
one,
what.
but
See, that's it. The thing is, I'm a bit of a casual in my game. Like I have a few genres I really like,
okay.
but I don't really hardcore stick to one.
Okay.
That's the thing. So like trying to develop a perfect one, I'm going to have to give you a couple responses, and they're going to be very broad range.
I like that. I like how
Um,
not once have I asked you for one thing that you haven't given me a couple of responses.
yeah, well, that's my brain. That's my brain.
No, that's fine.
Bananas and
That's
Man-
fine. I'm totally
Bananas
all
and
right
the
with it.
Manhattan Project. It just there's always a connection to everything. Uh, um, either I would love to see an updated take on retro platforming,
Okay.
where it's like you take all those mechanics, but you actually do something with the newer stuff,
Okay.
and not like what Sonic Team's done with their crap, and
Mm,
actually
mm.
make a legit go at it, and try to get that old school feel with the newer stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
or to be perfectly honest, a decent space simulator. Because I do.
Yeah.
Well, because I do Elite Dangerous, and right now
Yeah.
I'm kind of on the fence with them because of some of the actions FDev has taken
Okay.
recently with their release of an expansion that was supposed to be out, I think, this month or next month, and
Mm-hmm.
they released it a few months early. And it's clear it's like, oh, you just made us pay for a $50 beta. Fuck you.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I'm sorry to anyone who loves Star Citizen. Release the fucking game and maybe I'll consider it.
Okay.
You
All right.
know, but yeah, those would be the two because I'm a huge fan of simulators and I'm a huge fan of that old retro style.
Okay. All right. That's a good answer. Those are both good answers. All right. So I want to ask you a specific question, and I actually
Okay.
also asked Danny this. So just heads up.
Okay.
But you guys are both. So one of the kind of themes of this is you guys are both Twitch streamers as well. You both been streaming on Twitch. You also stream. I mean, well, you and I haven't actually streamed together yet, but we're gonna. It's gonna happen.
Well, we
But
have in the past.
we
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 we have in
have
the past.
we have. I was on
But
YouTube at that
that was
time. I was on
yeah,
YouTube at that
yeah,
time.
yeah.
But now that I'm on
That
Twitch,
was
we haven't twitched. We
yeah.
haven't double twitched,
As
I
Twitch
guess.
streamers.
uh,
We
so
haven't co-streamed.
so what do you like about Twitch over YouTube? What is the reason that you were like, I want to stream there instead of there? And what is the reason that you don't do any videos on YouTube? Just curiosity based. You're not gonna. This isn't
One,
like a fence or anything.
when it comes to my streaming, I'm more casual. I stream when I can. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
really looking, for the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
I realize, hey, if this hobby can become something cool, but I'm not
Right.
pushing for it.
Right.
Um, First off, when I started, it was kind of on originally kind of a lark because I saw one of our other friends doing it. And I'm like, okay, let me try this, and
Right.
I started with Twitch, and I just I fell into that. I did look into YouTube a few months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and just like the functionality's not there. The fact that at least they archive it for 2 weeks, even if you're not an affiliate or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they archive it for 2 weeks. I have a little more control over it. There's a lot more features. There's a lot more community interaction capability, not just with the audience, but with other streamers
Right.
through rating, hosting,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Which reminds me, after this, I got to show you how to set it up so you just auto host a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. Please do. I still haven't
um,
figured
it,
that one out. What's funny is then I have to
I'll
show
walk you
Danny
through
how
it.
to highlight videos. She doesn't know how to highlight
Yeah.
videos, so I've got to and we're like
Well,
stepping stones.
yeah. There's clips. It's usually when you're watching the stream. There's a little like clipboard,
I
flat
actually do
clipboard
it right
thing.
after I'm done. I just hit the highlight button in the video producer, and
Well,
it
yeah, no,
takes
no,
you to
no.
a little screen.
There's also the
Yeah,
highlight end of it. But
yeah,
that's the other reason is users can also find clips and go,
yeah.
hey, you know, Here's
That's
a great moment that I thought funny. Like the one when I clipped Danny just suddenly going, fuck it, I'm going off the cliff, and just drives the truck right off the cliff
right,
with.
right, yeah. That's
Like,
something I truly find great about Twitch is I love the ability to highlight videos and their ability to be able to download stuff in that fashion and then export to YouTube is just like I can now get out 7 videos easily on YouTube because I could just export streams from Twitch for whenever I don't have something on a day,
well,
you know.
that's yeah. What usually people do is they'll take their highlights or they'll take a bunch of the clips and they'll if they get a lot of clips
Yeah,
and they'll like edit them together
I've
and then
been
just
doing
post it for
that.
like a 15-minute video of like here's some quick highlights to kind of
Uh,
show people what you're doing and stuff. I'm not at that point yet.
right.
I still have to work
No,
on
yeah,
I still
yeah.
have to work on my front page because I'm procrastinating
No, it's
and
cool.
just setting that.
I always wonder about that, and I know that you had been Twitch
Yeah.
streaming, so I just wanted to get your opinion on that. All right,
Yeah,
so
personally, so go on.
all right, so I'm gonna ask you one more question, and
Okay.
then we'll probably wrap this thing up.
Okay.
But what is currently your favorite game?
Um,
It can be of all time too. You could take it either way. I'm good either
I
way.
currently well, I don't like assigning the concept of favorite game of all time.
Okay,
Um, Mostly because the gaming is such a variety thing, and you can hit different aspects of things.
right.
Um, right now, though, I am playing a lot of Red Dead Online
Mm-hmm. I
because
will be joining
somehow
you shortly.
yeah, I've gotten into a bit of a cowboy itch with that one. I don't know why. It's just one of those weird ones.
Right.
For more relaxing game, I tend to focus on City Skylines, City
Okay.
Builder Simulator,
I have seen you stream that.
and
I love that
yeah, that,
stream. I love to put that stream on when I don't have anything to watch and I'm cleaning my house because that's not I don't mean that as an insult. I know that sounds like an
oh
insult. It's
no,
not. I love the chill,
those types of
like it's just
yeah,
chill
that's that type
vibes.
of
Or I put it on the
that's
background when
the
I'm
type of
reading a
game
book. Like it's just perfect. It's
right,
just like if I don't want to listen to
right.
music, it's just like ambient noise and
Right,
you can look up and see a
yeah,
pretty city and I actually like streams like that, like chill streams like that.
yeah. Oh no, that's one of those ones where it's like if I do it, I'm just going to be like just chill, come in, annoy me in the chat. I don't care. It's just kind of me, just just kind of just putting it out there just to put it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And
almost like a conversation, but you're also playing because the game's so easy to like
right,
be part of. Yeah,
right.
I love stuff like that. It's
Well,
one of the things I've liked about No Man's Sky is it's very. I love games like that where you could just like you could play it and you can chat, and I never
well,
thought
that's
I was
Elite
gonna be a
Dangerous when
streamer.
I do my
Yeah,
yeah, that's Elite Dangerous when I do my space trucking every once in a while. It's just like I'm just going point to point,
right.
selling crap between stations.
Yeah,
And, maybe now because of the new expansion, getting out of the ship and doing some random land-based mission,
right.
stretch them space legs finally. But
Yeah, that's kind of cool
it's
that they added
mostly,
that.
it's mostly just a quick. I throw on some lo-fi crap and just cruise, or I'll throw on some like non-DMCA metal and just cruise the galaxy and not give a crap.
Nice.
So,
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up, Seatown. I've really found this interview interesting. I really thank you for being on the show and contributing. And
hey, no problem, man.
I do this with everybody who I have on. I also just want to thank you for being a fan because the only way we get to do this is when people like you watch and comment and support us, and we appreciate that. This is a community endeavor, our channel. We try to make it as much so, and we thank you. We thank you for being a part of it. And to even more
Hey, no
so,
problem,
thank
man.
you. Is there anything you want to plug right now, man?
Um, Not much. Check me out on twitch.tv/ctown1980
Mm-hmm.
when I do stream. Um, I believe. Hold on, let me check. My Twitter is so weird. I only use it. Yep, it's same. Twitter's at
Yeah.
ctown1980. Don't expect me posting much on there. I just post when I am streaming.
Yeah,
So, Yeah,
That's what I use
that's
socials for. Here's the thing I'm
yeah.
producing. I don't want to talk to anyone on this. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think every once in a while my friend posts something and I'll reply to it, but it's
Right.
just yeah, I tend to avoid as much Twitter as possible
That's a
because I
whole
think
nother
most of
conversation
gaming
right there.
oh, I think most of gaming is starting to agree, especially in the streaming sphere, that Twitter is a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Um,
Yeah.
all right. Well, thank you so much, C-Town, for being here. Everybody out there, you are. I think I'm gonna save this interview for last, so I'm gonna go ahead and make the call. We're probably gonna be back with just normal plugs and a sign off. And yeah, thank you for being here one last time, C-Town, and we will be back in a second.
Horrible Gaming Podcast.
That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the 3 interviews. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was very interesting and fun, and we will be back next week with all of the normal stuff, the normal hubbaloo. Also, I will be trying to do fan traction questions from both this show and the show from last week, so none of your questions are missed. Just want you guys to know that there's still a reason to post, still a reason to comment. And as far as plugs, check out everything we have to offer here at Old Man Gaming. We have tons of Let's Plays, tons of editorials, fun stuff all the way around. If I am going to plug anything, it probably went up yesterday, and that would be Back for Blood. Came out finally. I've done the review. Our horrible review just went up yesterday, most likely. So please check that out. And then you can also contact us on Facebook at OmanGamingDH, on Twitter at OmanGaming9. You can join our Discord. The link is in the description of our YouTube program. And then you can also check us out on Twitch for all the streaming fun goodness during the week. That's twitch.tv/oldmangamingdh. And then, of course, as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. See you guys next week.